Hello and welcome to Election Night 2020. We have President Donald Trump, the Republican nominee, versus the Democrat nominee, Vice President Joe Biden. It is now time for the 7 p.m. poll closings. Indiana, we have projected to go to the President. Kentucky projected to go to Donald Trump, as well as South Carolina. Vermont is projected to go to the Vice President. Here's the current electoral map. Donald Trump currently leads 28-3 electoral votes. Out of the Kentucky Senate race, Mitch McConnell has won re-election, defeating Amy McGrath. Out of the South Carolina Senate race, Lindsey Graham has won re-election, defeating Jamie Harrison. Out of the Indiana governor race, Eric Holcomb has won re-election, defeating Woody Myers. Out of the Vermont governor race, Phil Scott has won re-election, defeating Rebecca Holcomb. South Carolina's 1st District, Nancy Mace has won, defeating incumbent Joe Cunningham, a flip for Republicans in the House. It is now time for the 7:30 p.m. poll closings. West Virginia being projected to go to the President. We now have a call to the state of Virginia. Joe Biden has won the state of Virginia by a larger margin than most projected him to win by. He has won by 8 to 9 percentage points. Here's the current electoral map. Donald Trump leads 33 to 16 electoral votes. Out of the West Virginia Senate race, Shelley Moore Capito has won re-election, defeating Paula Jean Swearingen. Out of the Virginia Senate race, Mark Warner has won re-election, defeating Daniel Gade. For Georgia's 6th District, a flip for Republicans, Karen Handel has won, defeating incumbent Lucy McBath. Out of Georgia's 7th, Rich McCormick has won, defeating Carolyn Bordeu. Indiana's 5th, Victoria Sparks has won, defeating Christina Hale. Out of Virginia's 7th, another flip for Republicans, Nick Freitas has won, defeating Abigail Spanberger. It is now time for the 8 p.m. poll closings. We have several projections. Donald Trump has won the state of Alabama. He has won Maine's 2nd Congressional District. He has won Mississippi, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. Joe Biden has won the state of Connecticut, Delaware, Washington, D.C., Illinois, Maine's 1st Congressional District, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Rhode Island. We also have a call to the state of Ohio. Donald Trump has won the state of Ohio. He has also won the state of Georgia. It was a lot closer than it was in 2016. Donald Trump has won the state of Georgia by roughly 4 to 5 percentage points. Here's the current electoral map. Donald Trump leads 111 to 89 electoral votes. We have a projection out of the Alabama Senate race. Jeff Sessions has flipped the Alabama Senate seat, defeating incumbent Doug Jones. Out of the Mississippi Senate seat, Cindy Hyde-Smith has won re-election, defeating Mike Espy. The Oklahoma Senate race, Jim Inhofe has won re-election, defeating Abby Broyles. The Tennessee Senate race, Bill Hagerty has won, defeating Marquita Bradshaw. The Delaware Senate race, Chris Coons has won, defeating Lauren Witzke. Illinois Senate race, Senate Minority Whip Dick Durbin has won re-election, defeating Mark Curran. Massachusetts Senate race, Joe Kennedy III has won, defeating Shiva Ayyadurai. Great year for Joe Kennedy III, defeating incumbent Ed Markey in September. 2 months later, defeating Shiva Ayyadurai to become a senator. New Jersey Senate race, Cory Booker has won re-election, defeating Eugene Anagnos. Rhode Island Senate race, Jack Reed has won re-election, defeating Alan Waters. New Hampshire governor race, Chris Sununu has won a re-election, defeating House Leader Dan Feltz. Delaware governor race, John Carney has won a re-election, defeating Colin Bonini. We now have the call to the Georgia Senate race. David Perdue has won re-election, narrowly defeating John Ossoff. The Georgia special election, Doug Collins has won, defeating Kelly Loeffler. Oklahoma's 5th, this is a flip for Republican Stephanie Biese, has won, defeating incumbent Kendra Horn. Virginia's 2nd, another flip for Republicans, Scott Taylor has won, defeating Elaine Luria. North Carolina's 2nd, a flip for Democrats, Deborah Ross has won, defeating Alan Swain. Another flip for Democrats, North Carolina's 6th, Kathy Manning has won, defeating Lee Haywood. Ohio's 1st, Steve Chabot has won re-election, defeating Kate Schroeder. We now have calls out of the 8:30 p.m. poll closings. Arkansas is being projected to go to the President. Donald Trump has also won the state of North Carolina. He's won it by 2 to 3 percentage points. Here's the current electoral map. Donald Trump leads 132 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 89. Arkansas Senate race, Tom Cotton has won, defeating Dan Whitfield Jr. The West Virginia Governor race, Jim Justice has won, defeating Ben Salongo. The Missouri Governor race, Mark Parsons has won, defeating Nicole Galloway. Florida's 26th, Debbie Mersikill Powell has won re-election, defeating Carlos Jimenez. Illinois' 14th, a flip for Republicans, Jim Oberweis has won, defeating Lauren Underwood. Missouri's 2nd, Ann Wagner has won re-election, defeating Jill Shoup. Pennsylvania's 10th, Scott Perry has won re-election, defeating Tom Malinowski. It is now 9 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Donald Trump's the projected winner in Kansas, Louisiana, Nebraska, all of Nebraska except its 2nd district, North Dakota and South Dakota, and Wyoming. Joe Biden is the projected winner in New York. Maine at large, this is a huge call. Maine at large has flipped to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has won the state of Maine at large by roughly 1 to 2 percentage points. Maine at large has not gone Republican since the Reagan administration in 1988. Donald Trump is the first Republican to flip the state of Maine since 1988. This is a huge win for Donald Trump at the end of the night. A lot of people had Trump losing the state, had giving it to Joe Biden, had written Trump off in the state of Maine. But it looks like he has successfully flipped the state of Maine. Here's the current electoral map. Donald Trump leads 161 to 118 electoral votes. Louisiana Senate race, Bill Cassidy has won, defeating Drew Knight. Nebraska Senate race, Ben Sasse has won re-election, defeating Christian Janisic. South Dakota Senate race, Mike Rounds has won, defeating Dan Allers. Texas Senate race, John Cornyn has won re-election, defeating M.J. Hager. John Cornyn has won re-election by a bigger margin than expected. A lot of people had him winning by 7 to 9, but looks like he's won by 11 to 13. A bigger margin than what was expected. Wyoming Senate race, Cynthia Loomis has won, defeating Jana Ludwig. New Mexico Senate race, again, another unexpected win, or at least this big a win. A lot of people had Lujan winning by 7 to 9 again, but he looks like he's won by 15 to 17. He is won, defeating Mark Ronchetti. North Carolina Senate race, Tom Tillis has won a re-election, defeating Cal Cunningham, and this race was expected to be close, and it was close. Tom Tillis narrowly defeated Cal Cunningham, just narrowly. It was a much lower margin than when he won it by in 2014. The New Hampshire Senate race, Gene Shaheen has won, defeating Don Bolduc. A lot of people had written off Don Bolduc, but it looks like he's gotten the state under 5. As of now, it looks like Gene Shaheen has won by 2 to 3. A lot of people had her winning it by 8 to 12. But it looks like that is a much lower margin than what anyone expected from Don Bolduc. North Dakota Governor race, Doug Burgum has won a re-election, defeating Shelley Linds. Another close race, but in the North Carolina governor race, Roy Cooper has narrowly won re-election, defeating Dan Forrest. He has become increasingly unpopular in North Carolina. He enjoyed high approval ratings early in his term, but as we got closer to the election, his approval rating started tanking slowly, but it still tanked. He's got an approval rating of roughly 44 to 46, depending on who you use at this point. But Roy Cooper has narrowly defeated Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest. Minnesota's 7th, Michelle Fischbach has won, defeating incumbent Colin Peterson. This is a flip for Republicans. Texas 21st, Chip Roy has won, defeating Wendy Davis. Texas 22nd, Troy Nels has won, defeating Sri Preston Kulkarni. Florida's 15th, Ross Spano has won a re-election, defeating Alan Cohn. Illinois' 13th, Rodney Davis has narrowly won a re-election, defeating Betsy Dirksen Longrigan. Maine's 2nd, another flip for Republicans. A lot of Democrats are hopeful this seat will stay blue, but it looks like Eric Brackey has defeated incumbent Jared Golden. He's defeated him by roughly 1 to 2 percentage points, a very close election. Democrats will definitely have the seat in their radar come 2022. New Hampshire's 1st district, nobody was expecting this, or at least not a lot of people, but Jeff DeNaro has defeated incumbent Chris Pappas by a narrow margin. He has flipped a House seat. Nobody thought Chris Pappas was going to lose the seat. A lot of people had written DeNaro off, but it looks like DeNaro has won the seat for Republicans. New Jersey's 3rd, another flip for Republicans. Kate Gibbs has won, defeating incumbent Andy Kim. New Jersey 7th, another flip for Republicans. Thomas Keene Jr. has defeated Tom Malinowski. It is now 10 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Iowa is projected to go to Donald Trump, as well as Montana and Utah. And we now have a call to the state of Florida. Donald Trump has kept the state of Florida. Donald Trump has narrowly kept this state. It was a lot closer than it was back in 2016, but Donald Trump still keeps his second home state of Florida. New Hampshire, thanks to Governor Chris Sununu, who has campaigned for Donald Trump hard in the state, it looks like Donald Trump has finally flipped the state of New Hampshire. New Hampshire has not gone red since George W. Bush won it back in 2000, but Donald Trump has won the state of New Hampshire and has gained another 4 electoral votes, and this is a flip from 2016. Out of the state of Pennsylvania, Donald Trump has narrowly won the vice president's birth state. Donald Trump has kept Pennsylvania's column, albeit narrowly. He has narrowly kept it in its column, but Donald Trump has won the state of Pennsylvania. As well as Texas. Texas is going to Donald Trump. A lot of people had this going lean to likely, but it looks like Donald Trump is one likely to safe, winning it from 7 to 10 electoral votes. Donald Trump has done well in the night so far. We now have a state call, as well as some calls for Joe Biden. Joe Biden has won the state of Colorado. He's done a lot better than people gave him credit for. He has won the state of Colorado. A lot of the Bernie Sanders supporters really came home for Joe Biden this time, and he has won the state of Colorado. Here is the current electoral map thus far. Donald Trump can lose every single state on this map, and he only needs to win Alaska to win this election. He can lose every other state, but he just needs Alaska to win this, and it's expected for him to win Alaska. He can lose every state and win Idaho and win this election. He could lose every single state. The only way Joe Biden has to win this election is if he wins every single state. That includes the deep red states such as Idaho and Alaska. That also includes states that he is not polling well in, such as Nevada. That includes deep blue states such as Washington and California and Hawaii. He needs to win every single state just to win. A lot of people have already written Joe Biden off this time around. At this point in time, as Donald Trump's only 3 electoral votes away from winning. Oh, I'm now getting a call that Joe Biden has conceded the race to Donald Trump. He has conceded the race to Donald Trump. Even though he is up in the popular vote, he has conceded the presidential race to Donald Trump. And at this point, I guess we can call Donald Trump president-elect. We now have a call to the main Senate race. Susan Collins has narrowly defeated Sarah Gideon. A lot of people had written Susan Collins off in this race. A lot of people thought the state would flip. But it looks like, thanks to Donald Trump, she has won re-election. Out of the Colorado Senate race, John Hickenlooper has flipped the seat for the Democrats. This is a great night for Democrats in the Senate so far, as they have flipped the state of Colorado. Utah governor race, Spencer Cox has won, defeating Chris Peterson. New Jersey's 2nd, Jeff Van Drew has narrowly won re-election, defeating Bridget Harrison. The Pennsylvania's 1st district race, Brian Fitzpatrick has narrowly won, defeating Christian Fanilo. Pennsylvania's 8th, a flip for Republicans, Jim Bognet has won, defeating incumbent Matt Cartwright. Arizona's 6th, David Schweikert has won, defeating Carl Gentles. Michigan's 3rd, a flip for Republicans, Len Appendolis has won, defeating Hillary Schulten. This was Libertarian Justin Amash's seat. He became increasingly unpopular and chose not to run, but Len Appendolis has won this seat by a likely to safe margin. Minnesota's 1st district, Jim Hagedorn has won re-election, defeating Dan Fehan. New Mexico's 2nd district, this is a flip for Republicans. Yvette Harrell has won, defeating Jatel Torres Small. New York's 22nd, another flip for Republicans. Claudia Tenney has won, defeating Anthony Bredinski. Texas 7th district, another flip for Republicans. A great night for Republicans in the House. Wesley Hunt has defeated Lizzie Fletcher in Texas 7th race. This is a great night for Republicans, and they could be on their way to winning the House. Texas 10th District, Michael McCall has won a re-election, defeating Pratish Gandhi. Texas 24th, Beth Van Doon has won has won, defeating Kim Olson. Texas 32nd, another flip for Republican, Genevieve Collins has won, defeating Colin Allred. Utah's 4th District, a lot of people weren't expecting it to be this much of a landslide victory, but it looks like Burgess Owens has flipped Utah's 4th District to the Republican side by destroying Ben McAdams in the vote. Literally, he has won 60% of the vote already, and it looks, and possibly Ben McAdams can lower that. A lot of pundits are saying it can go 57%, 57% win for Burgess Owens at the end of the night, but that's still a huge win for the Owens campaign. It is now time for the 11 p.m. poll closings. Idaho is projected to go to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump has won the presidency with this. He only needed one more state to win, and he has won the state of Idaho. Idaho has gone to the president. But California, Hawaii, Oregon, and Washington are all being projected to go to Joe Biden. He has won all 4 of those states, but that doesn't matter because Donald Trump has been reelected to the presidency of the United States. He will get another 4 years in office. President-elect Donald Trump has won re-election. He will remain president for another 4 years in office. Here's the current electoral map. Donald Trump has won 271-205, but we still have 62 electoral votes to call. We have some tight races. Now let's take a look right now. Michigan. Joe Biden is up in Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada. Donald Trump is narrowly up in Nebraska second, which would give him 275 electoral votes at the end of the day if the polls hold. We have a call out of Nebraska's 2nd district, actually. It's projected to go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the projected winner in Nebraska's 2nd. Democrats are hopeful for this district, but it looks like Donald Trump has won the district by roughly 2-3. We have a call out of the state of Arizona. Arizona has flipped Democrat. It has not flipped Democrat since 1996 when Bill Clinton won the state. Joe Biden has won the state of Arizona. He has flipped the state, the first flip for Democrats of the night. Joe Biden has also won the state of Minnesota. A lot of Republicans were hopeful for a flip in Minnesota, but due to Trump's, I'll say, terrible response to the riots that happened in Minneapolis, a lot of people started, not being as hopeful, and I guess turnout was low for Republicans, and Minnesota has gone to Joe Biden. New Mexico is projected to go to Joe Biden. I guess we could have called this a while ago when Lujan won the Senate race. I guess it was natural that Joe Biden would have also won the state. Here's the current electoral map. Donald Trump leads 272-231. Take a look right now at the polls. Joe Biden is in the lead in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nevada. Again, he's still leading in all 3 of these, though, albeit narrowly in Wisconsin and Michigan. He's up by 1 in Nevada, but up by less than 1%, like up by 0.02 in Michigan and up by 0.05 in Wisconsin. We have a call out of the Idaho Senate race. Jim Risch has won re-election, defeating Paulette Jordan. Out of the Oregon Senate race, Jeff Merkley has won re-election, defeating Bo Ray Perkins. The Kansas Senate race, Chris Kobach has won narrowly, defeating Barbara Bollier. A lot of Republicans were hoping they could put some more money into this race to make Kobach look more presentable, but it looks like Kobach's controversies back in the 2018 race still haunts him, but he was still able to win this race. The Iowa Senate race, Joni Ernst has won, defeating Teresa Greenfield. Out of the Minnesota race, Tina Smith is defeating Jason Lewis. Jason Lewis did a lot better than what people expected. A lot of people were thinking this would go 6 to 7 percentage points to Tina Smith, but it looks like she's won by 3 to 4. Jason Lewis doing a lot better than what people expected. Showed a lot of charisma on the campaign trail, showed a lot of care for the Americans, especially during the riots, but it looks like he has still lost this race, but albeit narrowly. Out of the Arizona Senate race, another flip for Democrats in the Senate. Mark Kelly has won, defeating Martha McSally. Martha McSally was not popular. She became less and less popular the more as time went on, and Mark Kelly seemed to have this election in the bag come October. Washington governor race, Jay Inslee has won a 3rd term, defeating Tim Eyman. Kansas 3rd District, Amanda Atkins has won another flip for Republicans. She has defeated incumbent Sheriff Davids. Michigan's 8th District, another flip for Republicans. Mike Detmer has won against incumbent Lisa Slotkin. Lisa Slotkin was not popular in Michigan's 8th District, and a lot of people call her win back in 2018 a fluke, such as Cunningham and Horn's victory in 2018. Nebraska's 2nd District, Don Bacon has won, defeating Kara Eastman. New York's 2nd, Andrew Garbarino has won, defeating Jackie Gordon. New York's 11th, a flip for Republicans. Nicole Maliotakis has won, defeating incumbent Max Rose. This is a great night for Republicans in the House. New York's 24th, Dana Balter has won, defeating incumbent John Katko. This is a flip for Democrats. A lot of people weren't expecting this, but it looks like Dana Balter has won. New York's 24th District, has flipped that seat. California's 21st, this is a close one. T.J. Cox has won, defeating David Valadeo. California's 48th District, Michelle Steele has won, defeating incumbent Harley Rhoda. She has flipped a California seat for Republicans. This has not happened in a while. Well, that was before the 2020 special election between Mike Garcia and Christy Smith. It is now time for the 1 a.m. poll closings. We now have a call out of the state of Alaska, and Donald Trump has won the state of Alaska. We have several other calls. Michigan, Donald Trump has narrowly won the state of Michigan. As of course, a couple hours ago, Donald Trump was behind Biden by roughly 2,000 or 3,000 votes, but it looks like he's won by roughly 4,000 or 5,000, maybe even less. We don't know at the moment, but we can make a call that Donald Trump has won the state of Michigan. He has also won the state of Wisconsin pretty much the same way he won the state of Michigan. It was a close race. We had Biden. Biden was up a while back, but it looks like Donald Trump, with his blue collar appeal, has flipped the state of Wisconsin. But it looks like Joe Biden keeps the state of Nevada, albeit narrowly. This was a lot closer than what people had it. Donald Trump was up in the polls come September. He was up in Nevada, and then Joe Biden started campaigning finally, and he has won the state of Nevada. Here's the current electoral. This is the final electoral map, actually. Donald Trump has won this election, 301 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 237. Donald Trump is the third president to win less electoral votes the second time around. He is the third Republican to win less electoral votes in his re-election. The other two was Democrat President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Democrat President Barack Obama. We now have a call of the Alaska Senate race. Dan Sullivan has won, defeating Al Gross. Michigan Senate race. John James has flipped the Michigan Senate seat and defeating Gary Peters. A lot of people had Gary Peters winning by 4 to 5, but it looks like John James has won this seat, being the first person in a long time to win the Senate seat 2 years after losing. John James has done very well during his campaign, and a possible 2024 run could be in the future for him. Out of the Montana Senate race, again, same thing with John James. Nobody thought Steve Bullock could win, but it looks like Steve Bullock has flipped Montana's Senate seat. This is another net gain for Democrats. Out of the Montana governor race, Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney has won, defeating Greg Gianforte. The body slammer himself has lost to Mike Cooney. I guess you could say Mike Cooney had body slammed the body slammer in this race, but he has won narrowly. Out of Texas 23rd District, this one was a close race, but a lot of people had it going blue, but Tony Gonzalez has won, defeating Gina Ortiz-Jones. Iowa's 1st District, Abby Finkenar has won re-election, defeating Ashley Hinson narrowly. Iowa's 2nd District, Rita Hart has narrowly won re-election, defeating Marionette Miller-Meeks. Iowa's 3rd District, David Young has narrowly won re-election, defeating Cindy Axney. This is a net gain for Republicans. California's 25th, Mike Garcia has narrowly won re-election, defeating Christy Smith, a very popular congressman in the state of California, but he has just narrowly won re-election. This is a seat Democrats will most likely go after in 2022. California's 39th District, Young Kim has won, defeating incumbent Jill Cisneros. This is another net gain for Republicans in California. We now can call that the House of Representatives have flipped. The Republican Party has control of the House of Representatives. Donald Trump will now have a smooth last 2 years. As of right now, over this call, the Senate and the House are red, though we could make a call that the Senate has gone blue, though we do not have that call yet. But the House of Representatives has gone red, 221 to 214. They have 221 seats in the House, which is a net gain for Republicans. If I had to guess, we would soon see Speaker of the House of Representatives Kevin McCarthy come 2021. Here's the map for the House of Representatives. A lot of red than what we've seen back in 2018. The Senate, Republicans have kept the Senate 52 to 48, even though we have a net gain of 1 for Democrats. But Mitch McConnell will still be the House Majority Leader in 2020. Here is the map thus far. As you can see, we have a red Michigan and red Alabama. Though we do have a blue Minnesota, a blue Colorado, and a blue Arizona. Or excuse me, a blue Montana, not Minnesota. Here's the final electoral map. Donald Trump has won 301 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 237. We do have a popular vote total. Joe Biden has won the popular vote by 3.2 percentage points. Even though he lost the electoral vote, he won the popular vote. I guess that means we'll have another 4 years of Democrats bitching about the Electoral College. Here we do have a marginal map, however. As you can see, our closest states were Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Florida, and Maine at large. These are, as we go into 2024, these will be tight races, I would assume. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Part 2, Episode 2 of the Road to 2024 will be will be a new series, very similar to Election Predictions official series. I actually got the inspiration to do this from him, watching his series. But anyway, guys, this is the Chaotic One saying peace.